Hey y'all, it's Silly Girl Blue. I'm back today with another video, and today I want to talk about the unfair one-sided story of Cam and Fam. I don't know if you guys know Cam and Fam, but they were a family channel that probably hit its best stride around 2018 to 2020. Cameron was the wife, Landon was the husband, and they vlogged their life as teen parents. They had their first baby at 16, were married by 18, and Landon was sadly deceased by 19. In the middle of all this happening, they also welcomed their second baby, so they had 2 baby girls, and Landon took his own life by hanging as a way to escape his anxiety, depression, and addictions. Cameron is a horrible mother and person deep down inside, and the reason that she's been behaving in very odd ways online recently is because she knows that. She has clickbaited every single moment of her and her kids' lives for views and money because unfortunately she just had kids way too young and had no other way to make money. This unhealthy obsession with views and fame literally killed her husband. She led her husband to his demise. Then she clickbaited his death for views, proceeded to come out years after his passing and clickbait another story, an abuse story that was orchestrated by her against her husband for more views. And she claims that she loves him and she understands him so well. So today in this video, I want to talk about how such a seemingly happy and vibrant young man became so indigo.
If my story only helps one victim escape a domestic violence situation, that's all that matters. Because he's not hurting anymore. He no longer has an ego to be bruised.
I wanted to pause at this part right here because her mentioning his ego to be bruised is already indicating behavior from her that could have potentially been a problematic thing in their relationship. As a woman, if you think that men get hurt when their egos get bruised, you would be correct. But there's this whole other aspect to it. Men really just want to appear manly, and as a leader to their women, they like to be encouraged by them and told how good they're doing. When you berate a man, it can absolutely hurt his feelings because he feels that the person he loves the most is almost disrespecting his integrity. I personally think that teenagers of the same age that are in relationships, or any relationships that are close in the same age, probably see this problem a lot, where the woman just refuses to trust her husband to lead. You know, even if your husband doesn't know everything or he needs extra assistance with something, you should go about that in a way that doesn't make him feel stupid or like he's the smallest man in the room, because then he'll start acting that way. Okay, let's continue.
He is now just love and all things good and all of the best parts of who he was. And I really want to carry on that memory of him. What I've had to learn through my grief journey is that 2 things can be true at once, even if they contradict each other. He was an amazing person and he loved me and he only wanted the best for me. And at times his anger got a hold of him and the pills turned him into someone he wasn't, and he hurt me.
This part here just made me honestly rage, because if she was really trying to remember his best parts, she would not have blasted everything on social media. This video, this clout drop, she disguised it as wanting to help others. But like, seriously, who are you going to help? Your audience is 12-year-olds. It's little kids. The only reason this message reached others with the same experiences, if you look down in the comments, is because of the video's content. And because she already had enough followers to get views that it obviously made it onto the right pages of people that needed to see it. If Cameron truly loved her husband and actually understood his struggles, she would have never brought this or said any of this online. It's not normal to put that online. Now her kids could go watch that at any moment and they'll have a completely different view of their dad, who they didn't even get a chance to really meet, and he never got a chance to show them who he was. Now he just gets this bitch making up a story about him that's not real. In my opinion, this is just another example of why Landon could have potentially reached his breaking point. He was just never being understood, ever.
Gen Z's self-made stars.
Let's see what Delilah's up to.
But behind the screen, Cameron was struggling, watching as Landon fell deep into darkness, battling anxiety, addiction, and depression.
This part here sounds to me like Landon was just a happy, happy-go-lucky boy when Cameron met him. You know, they ended up having a baby, and that forces people to mature. As such young teenagers now having all of these responsibilities, it must have been truly exhausting for them. I know that Cameron was young, but Landon was the man of the house. He knows the weight of everything was truly on his shoulders. Men carry a lot of stress that women just get to glaze over and pretend like it doesn't matter. Over time, this weight of carrying his whole family when he's such a young man, it probably led to a lot of anxiety and depression.
I'm extremely exhausted. Listening to a newborn scream for 30 minutes is not so fun.
Even fans started to notice, commenting on Landon's sunken eyes and change in behavior in videos like this one.
And let's remember the true causes of anxiety and depression. It's lifestyle. Obviously, they weren't working out enough, or eating healthy enough, or getting proper sleep. Cameron will say this herself, and she has in videos. The weight of having children just disrupts regular life. Imagine navigating how to take care of a house, bills, cooking, cleaning, and other chores. Plus, you're becoming a parent all at once. Most of us, went to college. We learned how to take care of our house, how to pay a bill. And then when we're ready later on, we have babies. But for them, it was all at once. So that could be stressful. And those are the consequences of the actions that were made. I just really, truly advocate for safe sex. I know teenagers are going to do it, but just don't let some dusty boy convince you not to practice safe sex. And then you end up pregnant, you're locked away in your house, and he's out there partying, still not understanding the consequences of his actions, that there's a literal baby on the way. So don't put yourself in that position, ladies, okay? Get that ring first. And one thing that I will say is that at least Landon stayed around and tried his best to make things work for him and his family. And unfortunately, that was the death of him. I can only imagine that his life became so unbearable that he got addicted to the pills as a way to escape. And I want everybody to know that the cure to anxiety and depression is not pills. And it never will be. It is changing the way that you look and see your life. Our thoughts are so powerful. The power of our thoughts, just changing a thought from negative to positive, changes the neurotransmitters released in your brain, which all the drugs are, is just synthetic neurotransmitters. So just make your own by being happy and thinking good thoughts. It's just truly sad because you know that Landon must have been in such a dark hole with him and his relationship and probably his whole life that he feared he was truly doomed for eternity. In these clips, you can see that he loved his life, and I bet you he did love life until the reality of parenthood and marriage really hit him. Getting married and having children so young can honestly kill you because it's a life sentence. If you're not ready for it, then it could be absolutely devastating. I believe he set out to give his family everything they ever imagined. I think his wife took advantage of his kindness and love for her because he never wanted to tell her no, all the way to the point that he had to get high just to exist in his life. He was pushed so far outside of himself that he turned into that. His needs were shoved aside for so long that he just felt empty. Then, when he finally probably snapped and stood up for himself, he gets made out to be an abuser. So, can you really blame him for doing what he did under the circumstances of his life? The moral crisis that he must have been facing, knowing that he deserves a better wife, but being bound to this woman by a child because of a mistake he made at 15 years old, when we've all made mistakes at 15 years old. It's a cold world out there. And I think that everyone just needs to be aware because there are way too many people out there floating through life not understanding the true consequences of anything. Both Cameron and Landon got in over their heads and just didn't know how to live a healthy, productive lifestyle. Then, of course, they added the pressure of being on social media and in the public eye by being a family channel and exploiting their children, that of course it would add anxiety to even the most secure person's life. Cam and Fam's entire life and YouTube life is pretty much just a movie of the dangers into family vlogging. Cam has spoken about this too, which is what annoys me the most about what she's doing now. We're going to talk about what she's doing now in the next video, but she's basically now turned into a trans man.
I think next time I'm going to wait until she's able to tell me.
I love testosterone. Like, it's so working. I can't believe I used to sound like that. And also, how are you gonna just sit here and tell me that I look better as a girl when that's a bold-faced lie? Like, I'm the prettiest boy.
And has continued exploiting her children and everything online and just embarrassing her entire family. But the point of this video was to say that I believe wholeheartedly that Cameron Clifford ran her husband to his own suicide. And you can't tell me differently, because the way that she's been behaving now with like the septum piercing and having 2 boyfriends being transgender, all of it, it's messed up. She makes these videos about how much she's changed and she's grown, but she just keeps posting on YouTube for everyone to see. Honestly, she's truly disgusting. She's a liar. She has no clue how to heal properly from what she's been through, because she knows that to heal properly, she's gonna have to admit that a part of this was all her fault. Let me know what you guys think about this situation, because I remember seeing her accuse Landon of being abusive many years ago, and it just didn't sit right with me. And now I'm making videos, so I wanted to make one about this. Let me know what you guys think. It was great talking to you. Bye.